friends, have you ever heard of the Statue of Liberty? It's a huge statue in New York City. Maybe you've even seen it or been inside it. Well, here's the story of the Statue of Liberty. This is what she looks like, and she is enormous. This story is written by Betsy and Julio Maestro, and this is a true story. That means it really happened. The Statue of Liberty stands on an island in New York Harbor. She is a beautiful sight to all who pass by her. Each year, millions of visitors ride the ferry out to the island. They climb to the top of the statue from the inside and can look out and enjoy the lovely view. A young French sculptor named Frederick Auguste Bartholdi visited America in 1871. That was over 100 years ago. When he saw Bedloe's Island in New York Harbor, he knew it was just the right place for a statue he wanted to build. So there's the island. Bartholdi had created many other statues and monuments, but this one was to be very special. It was to be a present from the people of France to the people of America, as a remembrance of the old friendship between the two countries. See Bartholdi standing there? He's looking out over the island and sketching what he thinks would be something very, very special. When Bartholdi got back to Paris, he made sketches and some small models. The statue would be a woman whom he would call Liberty. She would be a symbol of the freedom in the new world. She would hold a lamp in her raised hand to welcome people who came to America. She would be Liberty enlightening the world. The statue would be very large and very strong. Bartholdi wanted people to be able to climb up inside the statue and look out over the harbor from the crown and the torch. Which do you think is going to be the crown? And which do you think is going to be the torch? This looks like her head to me, and it looks like her arms raising, and she'll be holding the torch in that hand. Many well-known artists and engineers and craftsmen gave him ideas about how to build the statue. First, a huge skeleton was constructed from strong steel. So those are like the bones of the statue. Many people worked together in a large workshop. Some worked on Liberty's head and crown. Others worked on her right hand, which would hold the torch. Look at how big her hand is compared to this man. That means the statue's going to be very large. In her left hand, she would hold a tablet with the date July 4, 1776 written on it. This is when the Declaration of Independence was signed. So here's the tablet, and it says July 4, 1776. Now that doesn't look like the number 4 that we use now. These are called Roman numerals, and they're different from the numbers that we write now, but we still use those, and it means the same thing. The arm holding the torch was sent to Philadelphia for America's 100th birthday celebration in 1876. Afterward, it stood in Madison Square in New York City for a number of years. Liberty's head was shown at the World's Fair in Paris during this time. Visitors were able to climb inside and look around. In this way, money was raised to pay for the statue. It cost a lot of money to pay for people to work on this statue, and it still has to get to America and be put together. That's going to cost a lot of money. Then, skin of gleaming copper. Copper is a type of metal, sort of it looks like the color of a penny, which is a coin. The copper was put onto the skeleton and held in place with iron straps. As the huge statue grew, all of Paris watched with great fascination. So they've got part of her dress done. Here's the torch in her hand and her head waiting to be put on too. Oh, now she's built. Finally, in 1884, Liberty was completed. There was a big celebration in Paris. Many people came to see her. Only a few people had the energy to climb inside all the way to the crown. It was 168 steps. Then began the hard work of taking Liberty apart for the long voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. Each piece was marked and packed into a crate. There were 214 crates in all. They were carried by train and then put on a ship to America. There's a piece going in a big box, over 200 boxes. But in America, people had lost interest in the Statue of Liberty. Money had run out and work on Bedloe's Island had stopped. The base for the statue was not finished. But with the help of a large New York newspaper, the money was raised. People all over the country, including children, sent in whatever money they could. And by the time the ship reached New York in 1885, it was greeted with new excitement. People are really pleased with this gift. The work on the island went on, and soon the pedestal, that's the base of the statue, it was completed. Piece by piece, the skeleton was raised, then the copper skin was riveted in place. Liberty was put together like a giant puzzle. The statue had been built not once, but twice, first in France and now in America. At last, in 1886, Liberty was standing where she belonged. A wonderful celebration was held. Boats and ships filled the harbor. Speeches were read. Songs were sung. Bartholdi himself unveiled Liberty's face, and she stood gleaming in all her glory for everyone to see. There was a great cheer from the crowd. And at the time, the president was Grover Cleveland, and he gave a speech. So unveiling means they had it covered, and then an unveiling is uncovering it so that everyone can see. That's the way they presented it to America. Over the years, immigrants have arrived to begin new lives in America. To them, the Statue of Liberty is a symbol for all their hopes and dreams. She has welcomed millions of people arriving in New York by ship, so she can be seen from far away, and as they approach America, that huge statue might be the first thing they see. It's a welcome sign. Every year on the 4th of July, the United States of America celebrates its independence. Fireworks light up the sky above New York Harbor. The Statue of Liberty is truly an unforgettable sight, a symbol of all that is America. Now, did you notice how her color kind of changed? Earlier in the book, that metal is brown, but the sea air and the sea salty water change the color of copper from this copper penny color to a green patina. Still so beautiful. I hope you liked learning about the Statue of Liberty.